Hello and welcome to our thought for the day. It is March and spring is on its way. Even if it doesn't feel like it every day, we can see the promises that nature makes us. And if I take you into my garden, you can see what I mean. The snowdrops have been and almost gone, as you can see. And there's some heather, tiny pink and white flowers. I almost didn't take any notice of them. And then, of course, those beautiful and colorful crocuses. And they just look so cheerful, don't they? Now, let me take you to a different spot in the garden. This is where I planted some tulip bulbs a good few years ago. And you can see the green shoots coming out already. And you would think that in a few weeks' time we might see some glorious flowers here. This is, however, not what happened over the past couple of years. All you get is what you see now, green leaves. Not ugly, but no flowers. This is how it was last year, and the year before, and the one before. And I have little hope that it will be different this spring. Now, I'm not a gardener, really. I don't know why these tulips don't flower anymore. If you have some advice for me, how I could get them to flower again, you can put it in the commentary below, and I'd be very grateful. Whether they need some fertilizer on them, or whether I need to dig out the bulbs and keep them wrapped in straw over the winter, I don't know. You tell me. All I know that it is a bit of a disappointment, a bit of a sad picture to see just the leaves. That's not what a tulip is designed to do. It's supposed to flower. If it doesn't, it has missed its potential. Yes, the plants are evidently not dead because they come back every year, but without showing beauty, bringing joy, and fulfilling the purpose they were initially planted for. And you may feel a little bit like that. Sometimes people, when you ask them how they are, they will say, "I'm surviving," meaning I'm far from being happy and flourishing and fulfilling all of my potential. And sometimes life can do that to you. Something comes along that robs you of your true potential. That happened to my parents. Their childhood was so affected by the war and subsequent displacement and then poverty. They didn't have the education they would have been capable of, and certainly didn't develop their full potential. But there are other things that can stop you from flourishing. Some unexpected illness, be that physical or mental, can affect you in that way, or something other people do to you, or some stupid thing you've done yourself and now wish you hadn't. Or somebody dies, and with that your joy and beauty and purpose is gone. Or a relationship breaks down, which can be just as devastating. And before you know it, you find yourself just surviving rather than flourishing. But then, surprisingly, the opposite can happen too. In the most adverse of circumstances, on poor soil, in between ice and snow and wind and storm, a flower pops up and displays its beauty and resilience despite all adversity. An old woman riddled with arthritis in a nursing home, smiling at her carers, thanking them every day for their kindness. A child coming out from the most difficult of backgrounds, making it into Oxbridge. And we think, How can they do this? God's ambition for your life is not to just survive. He wants more for you. The Bible is full of images of growing and flourishing and bearing fruit. Jesus once said, "I have come so that they may have life in abundance." That does not mean he promises us that we are rich and successful and strong and healthy. The fruit and abundance is meant to happen in our hearts. It is the inner beauty that grows as a result of being deeply loved. It is a joy that does not come and go with whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. It is the quiet confidence of knowing God is here with me. I'm never alone. He takes my hand and guides me through whatever I'm facing. I don't really know how to make my tulips flower again. It would be a little miracle, I reckon. And frankly, I don't care that much about my tulips. But God really cares about you. So if you feel you are missing your full potential, you are not blossoming, and haven't perhaps for a long time, why don't you ask Him to come into your life and give you that joy and confidence and that sense of purpose? And then, who knows? Maybe unexpectedly and against all the odds, a little beautiful flower will start to grow out of your life. And people will notice it and say, "Wow, where has that come from?" May God bless you this spring. And remember, whenever you see a crocus or a daffodil or a tulip, you say to God, "That's what I want to be, flourishing and bringing joy to others." Amen.